From news and views, issues and opportunities, we'll have in-depth conversations with decision makers to find out what they know and what they think. I'm Rico Hizon, inviting you to join the exchange because your business is our business. Smuggling in all forms remains unabated, even in the Marcos administration, as illegal goods enter the country's borders. The private sector is on board as well in the government's crackdown. With millions of pesos in potential revenues lost, how are sectors helping combat smuggling? The vision of industry involvement in our C-Suite vision. Various administrations have come and gone, but smuggling remains a problem. Let's now have an exchange with former Customs Commissioner Yogi Filemon Ruiz. Sir Yogi, great to have you with us. Why does smuggling remain so rampant? Government after government after government trying to crack down on it.
The fight against smuggling needs more or less the whole bureaucracy approach. It is the Philippines alone cannot be the one fighting it. We must also strengthen our linkages with other government administrations in other countries. And I think, sir, smuggling, as long as the root cause of smuggling is not addressed, smuggling will be here to stay.
Could you give us an idea, Sir Yogi, how smuggling actually happens from the paperwork to the port?
First of all, sir, it does, number one, it must have based on my experience, it must have a complicit exporter, meaning to say the country of origin, the exporter themselves must be complicit, because if the exporter themselves will not allow the alteration of the export documents, then it will lessen the opportunity for smugglers. So number one, that was what I was fighting for when I was still with BOC, to introduce the use of the export declaration by the importer coming to the Philippines, to use the export declaration from the origin country. So from there, the documents travel to electronically to the Philippines. It is reviewed, and then there also it needs the complicit how do you say it, government officials for it also to happen.
All right, so it takes two to tango, no, for smuggling to materialize. But during your time as BOC Commissioner, Sir Yogi, what were the items usually smuggled into the country?
I have seen that the especially for us Philippines, we are experiencing numerous shortages, especially goods like basic commodities like rice, sugar, and condiments like onions and garlic. So these are the most, because as we have to acknowledge, our agricultural sector has not yet been up to standards of other countries. So we are not yet that stable in supplying the local market. So the remedy in previous administrations was, once there is a shortage, we import. And with that, we are encouraging the smuggling, because smugglers, if they can smuggle it through our ports, they do not pay the required duties and taxes. They have an edge already. Once they sell it to the market, they will already have an edge in the market, in the pricing of their goods.
Okay, so Sir Yogi, it is really agricultural smuggling that is really massive, no, in our country at the moment.
Yes,
so on average, how much does the government lose yearly to smuggling?
we can say, sir, it's in the hundreds of billions. It depends on, but based on data that we have seen when we were still with the bureau, uh, it's more on the 300 to 400 billion pesos annually. So that's already big loss to government revenue.
But now you have President Bongbong Marcos having a large mandate of support, especially during the elections last year. And now he has ordered a probe into agricultural smuggling, but without a deadline. Do you think that the political will is there to stop it, to fight it, or to minimize smuggling during this administration?
Yes, sir. I do believe the president is very much serious in his campaign. He is very much serious in fulfilling his promise to the country. When I had the opportunity to talk with him before, you can really see he is very much concerned on why these goods still keep on passing through our ports. But we need to have a radical and systemic change, not only the Bureau of Customs, but also in other agencies that also have a part in regulating imports.
Apart from the executive branch, can anything also be done on the legislative side, Sir Yogi, to curb rampant smuggling?
We already have, as I have, based on my experience, we already have the requisite laws required to fight smuggling. But the thing is that I have seen, it's in the implementation, and it's on the right now. The response of the government is every time there are issues on smuggling, our immediate response is to create task forces, to create anti-smuggling groups like that. Those are just knee-jerk reactions. It does not address the root cause of the problem. More or less the root cause of the problem. I have talked with legitimate importers before. They don't care if the duties and taxes, the tariffs are that high, but because they are willing to pay. But what they are concerned is that it is the delayed, the unpredictability in our regulatory agencies that is giving them that anxiety when they are trying to import, because it more or less adds to their cost, to their overhead cost. The for every delay in the ports, it adds to the delay in these businessmen. So based on my numerous meetings with them before, because we have set up regular meetings with different business groups, they say the Philippines as one of the slowest processing of imports in other ASEAN countries. So with that, I can see it adds to the incentive for these smugglers because they want to have an edge with their competitors. So that's more or less what I see, sir.
Thank you so much for this anti-smuggling exchange, former Customs Chief Yogi Filemon Ruiz. And now here's a rundown of the week's top business stories. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas reports foreign direct investments net inflows shrank again in April, this time by over 14% to settle at 876 million US dollars. Latest government data reveals the country's trade deficit narrowed to $4.4 billion as exports expanded after 5 straight months of decline. And the Court of Appeals dismissed the Energy Regulatory Commission's decision denying the joint rate hike petitions of San Miguel Corporation and power distributor Meralco. And coming up on the exchange, where your business is our business. How are customs brokers making sure illegal imports do not enter our shores? We have an exchange with the Chamber of Customs Brokers. And smuggling is something that impacts small businesses as well. The chairperson of Fight Illicit Trade joins us straight ahead, right here on CNN Philippines. News you can trust.